I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio .world.
You probably have questions about COVID vaccines. Here are some answers about how they're being made.
How are COVID vaccines being produced faster?
Usually, vaccine testing and production are separate steps. But because of the pandemic, vaccines are being developed on parallel tracks. So both steps are happening just at the same time.
How are the vaccines being tested?
Right now, several different COVID vaccines are in testing. Each go through multiple clinical trials with up to thousands of volunteers.
How do vaccines get approved?
Not all COVID vaccine versions will make it to the final stages of testing and approval. Produced vaccines that do not pass clinical trials will be destroyed. But for those that do pass, a team of medical experts will examine test results and possible side effects. If the vaccine is effective and safe, it gets approved and gets to you. Go to covidvaccinewa.org to learn more. A message from the state of Washington.
All lovers, check out the Quiet Storm Dedication Show with Sergio LaCour on Love Lines. Thursdays, 9 p.m. Pacific on Rainier Avenue Radio .world.
I love the music.
Greetings. This is your host, DJ Neftali, Rainier Avenue Radio .world. The best DJ in the Seattle area. You can catch me every Monday at 8 p.m. on YouTube. Like I said, this is DJ Neftali, the best reggae in Seattle, Washington, the best radio station, Rainier Avenue Radio .world. Come on, right?
Northwest Film Forum's Collective Power Fund is now open for grant applications. Grants are starting at $2,000 up to $10,000 for individual or artist collectives. The annual grant cycle focuses primarily on supporting art that incites public dialogue, pushes boundaries, explores genre fluidity, speaks its truth through an authentic perspective, and is often non-traditional, anti-institutional, socially responsible, or disruptive of any existing structures and conventions. Learn more and apply at collectivepowernw.org.
Rainier Avenue Radio .world is your 24/7 digital media hub. Tune in at Rainier Avenue Radio .world. Also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and TuneIn apps.
Well, hello there, and there's that Shattering Glass. I'm Bettina Carey, the founder and CEO of We Empower You, the global community, and WeEmpowerYourLife.com, the website. And we're here to shatter glass ceilings right down to the floor. Has living on purpose been on your mind? It certainly has been on my mind for the last 40 years. As far back as I can remember, as a teenager, I started to ask questions about why I was here and what was life really all about. I knew it wasn't anything about just punching a clock and going to work. In the beginning, as a nurse, I found myself nurturing patients. As a survivor of domestic violence, I also was helping women to become empowered in all areas of their life. In short, I've always looked beyond mere survival and asked myself life's most important questions. Why am I here? Who am I to be with? Where am I going? On our personal spiritual journey, my next guest, Juanita Corry Jackson, has been on her own path. Together, we're going to explore her work to coach and counsel others on just what might be out there for everyone here. Welcome, Juanita. It's great to have you here today.
Well, thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes. Before we get started, I would love to do a formal introduction. So Juanita Corry Jackson is the CEO of Global Impact University Consulting, LLC. She's a certified speaker, trainer, realtor, financial consultant, spiritual coach, and is a best-selling author. Juanita also serves as the visionary leader of I Believe in God Ministries International, Inc., the executive producer of Global Impact TV, and the host of the Exchange podcast. Juanita is a skilled business professional, a natural solutions-oriented entrepreneur leader, and she's developed her leadership, training, and development skills through many diverse organizations and industries. Juanita brings to us a wealth of knowledge from healthcare management, real estate, ministry, and training and development. She's the mother of 3 children, Demond, Sharika, and Kendra, and 1 granddaughter, Tanaya. Most importantly, she is a woman of faith, and she is a transformational vision specialist. again, welcome. It's so great to have you here today, Juanita.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
So what put you on your path to living a life on purpose? Because that's the quintessential question that most people eventually find their way to, whether they're young children, like my granddaughter started asking questions when she was about 8. And myself, I started as a teenager. When was that a question in your life?
I think I stumbled into it. Just stumbled into it because I was really running from my purpose, had no intention of doing it, and fell into it. And really a lot of heartache and hardships brought me to the place of purpose and destiny.
Yes. So when you're on the bended knee and wondering, dear Lord, why is this happening to me?
Yes.
That often begs the question. And what do you believe is your purpose here on earth?
Yeah, absolutely. My purpose here on earth is a teacher. I have a lot of things that I do, but at the root of all of them is a teacher. And as I first stated, I ran from that. I always loved training and teaching in corporate America, but never really saw myself as pastoring and teaching on the scale that I'm doing now.
That's so amazing. I found my way into teaching as well from the beginning of I was an 8th grader teaching 4th graders. And although I found my way into nursing and marketing and promoting others, it's all the same thing, is it not? It's all about teaching, and teaching the word in your case, teaching others marketing techniques in my case, and bringing them together is also part of this teaching and this ministry that you have. And so what started you on this entrepreneurial journey? Because I know there's a little bit of a transition between going from I have a purpose in teaching to actually being able to turn it into a business and a living. And, as they say, the best world is when you're actually able to get paid for what you love to do, right?
Yes, absolutely. So I found myself late in life running from this purpose, and in 1 year went through a divorce, went through my mother dying, and ended up having to now run this church that I said I would never do. And found myself on the floor saying, God, why me? What is happening? And what came back to me is, why not you? And I found that everything that I had been through in life prior to this time really propelled me and prepared me. And I never saw it coming.
Wow, that is a great question. Why not you? It's a totally different way to look at things, right?
Yeah.
Very good. And so you manage a lot of, you wear a lot of hats and you manage a lot. You must be a woman. Because almost every woman I know is much like myself. We do so many different things. We could be like that one woman show band, where you're drumming and you got your tambourine over here and your mic over here. How do you manage it all?
It's really all about balance. It's really all about balance and time management and time blocking. And it's the thing that I love to do. And so now, whether I am in real estate working with my first-time home buyers, I'm teaching. And whether I am working with my investors, I am learning and teaching. So every part of this for me, it all centers back to one thing. And so for that, it's really easy to manage it all. And it helps that my kids are grown now. Yes.
Well, one of the hats that you wear is you're a best-selling author, and your book is available on Amazon. I'm going to pop that in the chat here for Dan to show the world here. And you are you're not only writing books, but you're also teaching from this work that you do. Give us a little sense of what the book is about and what you're up to with coaching women.
Yeah. So the name of the book is called The Exchange, and the subtitle is My Will for God's Power. And I think that falls in line with your previous question about our purpose, is that when we're willing to surrender all of these ideologies and religiosities, I call them, of things that we think we're supposed to be doing, and really come in alignment with what the Creator created us for, because I believe we were all sent here for a purpose, and we have a limited amount of time to do that purpose. And so that's what this book is about, is me. Again, every level, I say there is not just one destiny. So if we live our lives thinking, oh, I got to get to this one thing, we will most often miss the big thing that God has for us. So I believe there are destiny steps. So when I finish this one thing, and I like to say, I think I've done God a favor, and like, God, hey, I did it. You know, it's over now. I can go home and sit down. And he says, no, here's the next thing. And here comes another surrender to get to the next thing. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, and you help these ladies tell their own stories, right?
Yes. So in this book, there are 8 ladies, including myself. In this particular book, there are 4 ladies who had been authors previously and 4 authors who had not been. This is their first time being an author. And so we take this book and they're able to tell their story. I believe that it is therapeutic in some ways for us, to write out our story, the journey. One, it teaches us how far we've already come. And then 2, what can I build upon this? And so these ladies all came out of this experience as best-selling authors and was able to make this time the international bestsellers list. This book will also be in the Library of Congress. But what I really teach them is how to be strong in themselves, and how to walk out their purpose, and how they can take their chapter and turn it into multiple streams of income.
That's great. So can you share with us, without giving away any names or secrets, examples of women that you've worked with, and what exactly were you helping them work through, and where did they go with that information?
Yes, absolutely. So there is one person in particular that I can say that did an anthology with me before. They're also in this book, and they really struggled, although they had their own journey, was struggling with some low self-esteem and really didn't know their kingdom purpose, I call it. Mm-hmm. And so through this process, they are now the director of education for our Global Impact School, and just doing great things on their own without my help now. So so that's amazing that through these 2 experiences, they now have their own business.
That's great. And I'm sure you apply these same principles with your children and your grandchild. So how can what you're doing and what you're teaching be applied in all walks of life, I would say?
Yeah, absolutely. You're never too young and you're never too old. And I say, if you're still breathing, that means you still have purpose, that you have not arrived to your final destination yet. And so, while this particular person wasn't in one of my books, it was an 8-year-old little girl who worked with my publisher, who wrote her own book and became a best-selling author. And she too is doing self-esteem workshops for children who are getting bullied in school. So you're never too young and you're never too old. One of the authors in this last book is in their 70s. So only thing that will stop you on your journey is you.
Yes, my mother is going to be turning 89 out there. And if you're watching, Mom, hi. But she's going to be turning 89 at the end of the month. And that's a 25-year difference between our ages, because my birthday comes up on June 8th. And I realized, and I'm coming into 64, I've still got, like, if I live as long as my mom, when I live as long as my mom, that is, I will be 25 years in the making of this legacy that I'm doing with We Empower You, and still transforming lives, very much committed to empowering others, both men and women nowadays. And, it just gives me a lot of hope. And of course, she's on the other end of it going like, okay, I'm done. Like, any day now.
Yes, yes,
It's
yes.
so funny. She laughs a little bit about it, but she's like, she feels like she's lived out her full life, and she's because of our day and age with science, she's going to probably live until she's 100, so she might have another 20 years in her. And when I was visiting her just recently in Austin, she was out there in her yard taking this device and cleaning the gutters. And I was like, Mom, you can't do this. Let me do it. No, let me do it. So you're never too old in a sense, right?
You're never too old. And
Yes.
it's so funny that you said that, because in the previous book, I had a lady who was in her 80s, and she wrote her first book, and she had always kind of journaled for their family to put down histories.
Yeah.
And then we told her, you could put this in a book. And so she wrote her own story. And now she has a legacy that she can leave behind. Because I think that's one of the things for people writing, is that your words become permanent. And so when I leave this world, my words will still be talking for me.
Yes, I love that idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is there any one thing that gives you more joy than anything else?
No, because it's all centered around teaching. And so while I love to teach the Bible, and I love to bring it to life and bring it to a 21st century so that it's not all the these and thous and we can understand it, I equally love to teach people how they can empower themselves through real estate and purchase their first home, and don't just think of it as a consumer. How can I purchase my first home and put on my investor hat and go in it with some smart wisdom that I can pay that mortgage off really quickly?
Wow. Well, let's get into that a little bit. I mean, you're helping folks in that build wealth in addition to finding their purpose through the real estate side of things. So how did that happen?
Oh my God. I, again, stumbled into it. So in 2010, I was working a job and was really ready to leave this job and start my real estate career. 2003, I took care of my grandmother for 2 years. And when she transitioned, I thought, I want to have something to leave behind. And real estate, I believed, was that vehicle. So I went, got this real estate license, and still didn't do anything with it for a couple of years. And in 2010, I got ready to leave this job, and my whole world, of course, turned upside down, because now I'm about to go through a divorce, just out of the blind side at me. But I got to work with this real estate investor, and he really took me under his wing and taught me the ins and out, not just what I learned in real estate school, because they don't teach you the good stuff. They don't teach you the good stuff. But I really learned real life principles of how to make it work for me. And so I think it's important to empower people to have that knowledge, because it is not something that you learn in school.
That's so fantastic. I am not the kind of person that invests so much in real estate, but now lately I've been thinking, I'd like to move down a little bit to have more of a separation of church and state. So my work will be in Seattle and my life might be somewhere a little bit south from here. Mm-hmm. And, maybe a little real estate investment will be happening soon.
You're right now.
It's great. So you're going to be speaking at the We Empower You Global Virtual Summit that's coming up on June the 8th. And for a short talk, what are folks likely to get from that time with you?
I think more in depth of drilling down. How do I get to that first step? How do I understand what my purpose is? And I believe that our purpose and our gifts are all tied together. And we're sent to the world with our gifts. And most oftentimes we hear that in a church setting, but we don't take that to a corporate arena, but it's all tied together. So I think you'll hear more in depth of that. So from a biblical perspective, the Bible says that our gifts are supposed to make room for us. It never says that your gifts are supposed to make room for the church. And so when I can take that God-given gift that I've been given, along with any skills or talents that I've learned along the way, and couple that with what I really love, I find that that's what drives me to my purpose.
Well, that is fantastic. Of course, we have the upcoming We Empower You Global Virtual Summit that's going to be coming up, and I want to make sure that everybody has some details about that. What are your final thoughts before I move on to sharing more about the summit?
I think just we only have this limited amount of time, and we only get one opportunity of this thing that we call life. So we should just make the best of that and go through life on purpose and intentional to reach that goal and to leave a legacy behind, to let somebody know I was here.
Yes, and your legacy, of course, is in the book, and also that the work that you do, both in the church as well as in your entrepreneur business.
Yes.
And I'm so excited that you have stumbled onto us. I think we must have met like on the podcast collaboration club, right?
I think so. Absolutely, yes.
Yes, that's a wonderful club where you can go on Facebook and interact with those that are wanting to be guests, as well as those that are producing shows like myself. And so I go on that club. That's the podcast collaboration club, to make sure that I'm there looking for opportunities to speak, as well as opportunities to find people like you.
And thank you so much.
And one last thing I wanted to talk about was that you also are the executive producer of your own show, which is the Exchange Podcast.
Yes.
So give me some final notes on folks who might venture and speak on your stage.
Yes, we'd love to talk to them. So we're talking to people who are doing fabulous things in the world, and not fabulous as compared to Oprah Winfrey, but just fabulous in your own sphere of influence. So if you're an author, if you're a business entrepreneur, if you're doing something to make a difference in someone's life, and that can be your children, then we'd like to have a conversation with you, because somebody is waiting to hear your story.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I'm going to go ahead and share some final notes about the upcoming We Empower You Global Virtual Summit. We do these every single quarter. Our next summit is coming up June the 8th. And as I like to say, it's free to attend this event, but you must RSVP. And I also like to mention that, coaching is the noblest profession that I know. But in these tumultuous times, many talented coaches are not finding it easy to match up with those that they most could be helping. And people need our help more than ever these days. So what we're doing is bringing together coaches and those that they could be helping to one stage. We do this every single quarter. We start at 8:30 a.m., go to 8:30 p.m. We go 12 hours in a row. It's going to be a wonderful event. I'm hoping to also add a paid hybrid component somewhere in the middle of the day, maybe around lunchtime. This will be our first opportunity to be in person, as we've been in this pandemic. And the topics range from business, leadership, love, life, health, you name it. And of course, this ministry that you have going on is going to be featured there as well. And to get your free summit tickets, you're going to want to go to weempoweryourlife.com. Click on the Summit Ticket tab and get your ticket. There's a limited number of tickets available. We do shut off our ticket sales, and then it converts to a paid ticket after we've given out all of our free tickets. So jump on that today as quickly as you can. And are you still there, Juanita? Not quite sure what's happened in terms of the connection, but it looks like I lost Juanita for temporary sake there. Let me also tell you that we just founded the We Empower You Go-To Community podcast, which we're doing on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go to weempoweryourlife.com, click on the Summit Ticket tab to get your tickets, and also on the Calendar tab to get your seat at the Zoom link. With that said, I also wanted to mention we're here on Rainier Avenue Radio live every single week on Thursday from 1:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Our next show is going to be The Wonderful World of Fine Art, episode 22 at 2 p.m. I look forward to seeing you all next week. Bye for now. Take care.
Coaching is a noble profession, but in these current tumultuous times, so many talented coaches are finding that they simply cannot connect with people that they could be helping. And people need our help more than ever these days. That is why I conceived the We Empower You Global Community and Global Virtual Summit. I'm Bettina Carey, and I'm inviting you to join with some of the world's leading empowerment coaches, trainers, authors, mentors, and thought leaders for our upcoming We Empower You Global Virtual Summit. There's an old adage and saying that goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. It is in that spirit of togetherness that we aim to help connect more talented coaches to the people that they might help. Join us for free and share your knowledge in this Find Wealth by Giving endeavor. And there isn't a hidden fee or big sales pitch at the end. You will be shoulder to shoulder with some of the world's best thought leaders, newsmakers, and game changers. And you will see for yourself exactly what the We Empower You global community and membership is all about. It's a blend of altruism and business, to be sure. This endeavor is audacious, and we hope to plant seeds that take deep roots. So we need you. If you have a goal of helping others reach and achieve that next rung, if your work aids in lifting people out of self-limiting beliefs, if you're ready to fix the world one client at a time, or spread your message to the masses, you're welcome to join us for our We Empower You Global Summit. Tickets are free, but RSVP is required. Scan the QR code if you're watching on TV, or go to our website at weempoweryourlife.com and click on the Summit Tickets tab to get more information and to claim your free Zoom admission ticket. We empower you. Together we will go far. Coaching is a noble profession, but in these current tumultuous times, so many talented coaches are finding that they simply cannot connect with people that they could be helping. And people need our help more than ever these days. That is why I conceived the We Empower You Global Community and Global Virtual Summit. I'm Bettina Carey, and I'm inviting you to join with some of the world's leading empowerment coaches, trainers, authors, mentors, and thought leaders for our upcoming We Empower You Global Virtual Summit. There's an old adage and saying that goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. It is in that spirit of togetherness that we aim to help connect more talented coaches to the people that they might help. Join us for free and share your knowledge in this Find Wealth by Giving endeavor. And there isn't a hidden fee or big sales pitch at the end. You will be shoulder to shoulder with some of the world's best thought leaders, newsmakers, and game changers. And you will see for yourself exactly what the We Empower You global community and membership is all about. It's a blend of altruism and business, to be sure. This endeavor is audacious, and we hope to plant seeds that take deep roots. So we need you. If you have a goal of helping others reach and achieve that next rung, if your work aids in lifting people out of self-limiting beliefs, if you're ready to fix the world one client at a time, or spread your message to the masses, you're welcome to join us for our We Empower You Global Summit. Tickets are free, but RSVP is required. Scan the QR code if you're watching on TV, or go to our website at weempoweryourlife.com and click on the Summit Tickets tab to get more information and to claim your free Zoom admission ticket. We empower you. Together we will go far.